Keep getting hit by people talking about doing lead gen ads. I want more leads. I want more leads. And we're going to start moving down that path a little bit more just to make everybody happy. So let's jump in. Apologies. I'm going to be a little bit awkward today. There we go. Come on, loading ads manager. Whew. All right. Come on. There we go. So you went to your page. Little hamburgers on the top on your page. You clicked on that and you said create a new ad. If you want to collect leads, it's pretty simple. You got to give people a reason to be a lead. The whole idea, whether you're using a lead magnet, like something they can download, an article, see some listings, you put up a listing ad, and if you'd like more information on this listing, click here. Whatever you're doing, you're giving people a reason. You're giving them something to trade their information for. So you're going to get their name, their email, their phone number, their address, whatever it is you want in exchange for something they're going to get. So you've got to come up with what it is they're going to get. And then you got to put up an ad that says, hey, if you want to get this thing, give me your information. And it's really that simple. Don't complicate it. So you're going to go in, you're going to say, create ad, and it's going to come up and say, what do you want? Remember last week we covered objectives, and you could choose reach. I want to reach as many people as possible, or video views or whatever. Well, lead gen, we just touched on it last week. We're going to touch on a little bit more today. Lead gen is where you go when you want to get leads. Again, apologies for me dabbing sweat, but it's about 1,000,000 degrees in here to me. Even though it's probably too cold for normal humans. When we say lead gen, you're going to come down, as always, skip these next few. There's nothing there that you need to worry about at this point. And you're going to say next, and it's going to pop up, and it's going to ad account setup. Whoop, I'm in the wrong ad account. Sorry about that. A lot of you have probably run into this where you've got a personal ad account because you have a personal account, but that's not what you use because it made you create a business manager. So you got to go down to your business manager and change it because you don't have a payment method tied to your personal account. So now that I'm on my personal account, loading ads manager, there we go. See, we're hitting every possible scenario, every situation. Oh, give it a second. Let me catch my breath. And now we're going to say lead generation is what I want. Once we're on our page in our ad account, we'll be patient. Come on, lead generation. Still loading. Be patient. I'm going to close whatever that tab is. It's clogging up my bandwidth. And we're still being patient. It's a real test for my ADD. This is where you left off. Lead generation. We're going to start over so we can do everything with you. The good news is if you're ever making an ad or a post or whatever and you abandon, it'll always come back to where you were and say, do you want to pick up where you left off or do you want to start over? So you can always just pick up where you left off. Lead generation. Now we're going to skip those last two and say continue. And it's going to jump up and let us move ahead. It's not going to say what page or you need to set up a payment because we're on the right page. Yep, like I just did a workout. I did, learning to walk with a cane. All right, come on. Continue. And there we go. So getting everything nice and slow today, right? And you can pick your page. If you got a lot of page, I'll use my Bill Hillestad page, my demo page I use for everything else. And as always, I'm going to pick my audience. I picked my objective already. My placements, I'll leave them on automatic, which I typically do, and then I shut off the placements I don't want. This is, do you want your ads on the side? Do you want them in-stream videos? Do you want whatever? I'm going to come to my audiences. I'm going to pick a saved audience most of the time when I'm doing lead gen. Sometimes I will do this to my custom audiences because I'm doing lead gen to the people I know. then I'll turn around and do it to saved audiences again. Remember, you can't do custom audiences and saved audiences at the same time. You have to duplicate that ad or redo that post to both. So let's say I'm going to advertise to the real estate industry here in Phoenix. I've got 55,000 people in that saved audience. I can pick that audience, I can edit that audience, or I can just run with it, leave my placements at automatic, shut off my phone, which I forgot to turn the ringer off on. And now we're going to come down here and we're going to do our budgets. Now this is where you always see me saying I like to do total budget. On lead gen is the one time when I typically don't do total budget. I like to do daily budget because I'll run it into perpetuity, run my ad set continuously starting today. So I'm going to run it and I'll pick an amount. And the whole idea is I can turn it off and turn it on anytime I want. Hang on one second. I jump over here, I see something popping up. I want to make sure anytime I see a chat, make sure I don't have somebody saying, hey, we can't hear you. Oh, when you're so sick. Thank you, Beth Ellen. I'm not sick, I'm just old. I just can't move my knees. They're indestructible, but but I can't move them yet. But Facebook doesn't approve my boost. Might have to look at your boost individually, Alexandra. Trying to boost my video for my business page has nothing to do with realtor promotions, but Facebook doesn't approve my boost. You have to go to their terms of service, and it will frequently disapprove because if it says anything, charities get me a lot because it's an item of national interest and it thinks it might be political in nature. Facebook is very paranoid about political stuff. If I run an ad that asks the wrong information, I can't ask you about your personal information. Do you have 20% for a down payment? Nope, not acceptable because I'm asking people about their money. But if I put up a question that says, I understand that this loan requires 20% down, now they're just saying I understand. I'm not saying I have it, but I understand it. So that's how I clear people on things like that. Okay. Beth Allen, you're older than me. I'll have my 39th, 29th birthday. Good for you. Right now, trust me, Beth Allen, you're younger than I am. Nothing says like that. It says, congratulations on moving back to Las Vegas. Gosh, I have no idea. I would just try. And once again, we're always back to when Facebook starts rejecting things, you've got to get used to using help and going and asking for help. Man, my phone will not quit ringing. You've got to go ask them for help. You've got to get on the phone with somebody. It's a pain, but it's worthwhile. Once you do it, you're connected to them. You can keep going back to them as long as you don't go more than 2 weeks, and then you have to start over. So anyway, getting back to this so that we don't go too long today, because I promise short and I don't have a lot of time to give you before I run out of steam. Let's go back to leads. So I'm not going to say an average cost per lead. You can play with this after you get going. Once you get your leads running, if you're getting kind of lousy leads and you're paying $5, you can say, I want to pay 10 and you'll get a better quality lead. Or if you're getting leads at $20 and you say, I only want to pay 15, you might not get as many, but it'll keep your average cost down to whatever you say. My recommendation is always start by leaving this blank and just going with a daily budget. I typically do $100 a day, and then I'll just use start and stop because I'm going to pay attention to this. If I run it, it doesn't mean I've spent $100. It's got 24 hours to spend that $100. Sometimes if my audience isn't big enough, I can't even spend that. But if I'm spending $100 a day, I might go in and pause it, change it, do whatever, play with it before you've even spent $20. But you really don't know what you're doing in the lead gen space until you've spent, say, at least $50, because most leads are going to run you from $5 to $30. So if you spend $25 and don't get a lead, you might have been just about to get 2 leads. You never know. So I'll just set a daily budget. In this case, let's say I'm going to go with $50 a day. Come on. No, my keyboard's not working. Backspace. We'll use the laptop and lean into you a little. So now I'm at 50 bucks a day, run my ad set continuously. The reason I do that is because if I run it continuously at 50 bucks a day, I can keep going back in and using the same ad over and over and over and over. And the whole idea when I'm doing lead gen ads is I want to build ads that I can use over and over and over to make leads whenever I want to make leads. So 50 bucks a day, run it continuously. Why does it say I'll spend no more than 140? Oh, because it still thinks I'm spending 20 bucks a day. Return. There we go. Now I'll spend no more than 350 a week. If I were to leave this running continuously, that's what I would spend. Hey, if I'm getting leads for 25 bucks, I'm converting 1 out of 20. I'm spending about 500 bucks a deal. That's worth it. I'm going to figure out how to do more deals if I can get deals for 500 bucks. Yes, I will try to get them down to 300 or 400 or 200. But at 500 bucks, I'm going to spend most of my time figuring out how to close more deals and less of my time trying to figure out how to make an extra 250 per deal. I'm making enough, just do more. So there we go. When do you get charged? By the impression. If I'm lead gen, it's going to come back to leads no matter what, but just leave all this the same. Found one error. It's going to find errors all the time. I'm going to just tell it to go ahead and fix it, meaning if I've targeted something that's no longer available or they've changed it, it'll have to change that. I can say manage. For now, I'm just going to hide that message so that we can get through this training. I'm spending my 50 bucks a day. I'm reaching 62,000 people. It's a good audience as I'm going to reach about 570 to 1,500 or call it 1,000 a day. I don't really care how many people I reach. I care about how many leads I get, but that's a good enough number. We'll leave it. We'll move on. And now I'm going to make my ad. When you're doing a lead gen ad, you can't boost an existing post. You may use an existing post as far as its content and its video or its picture or whatever, but you're going to have to build it from scratch. So I'm going to do a single video, which I almost always do. By the way, if you want to upload a bunch of images and turn it into a slideshow, that's great. It'll still make a video for you here. You can upload a single image. Carousel ads are very popular, and they're really great when you have multiple offers or multiple closes. If you say, these are the 3 hottest listings I have right now, or these are 3 hot listings you need to see, in a carousel ad, you basically have a carousel that can move across and show you multiple pictures with text. Each picture or video will get its own text and its own call to action. So if I do a carousel, I can have 3 listings and they can request information on just one of them. So if you've got multiple things I can offer, get my ebook, get the collection of articles, connect with me now, whatever you want. You can have multiple ads in one. It's a great way to test, by the way, and see which one's converting. I might run a carousel ad with 5 items. I believe 7 is the limit right now. But I might have 5 items in my carousel, see which one's pulling best or which 2 are pulling best, and then go back and recreate it using just those 2. Or make a single image or a single video ad using just the one, but it's effectively running an ad where people can click through and see all of your things that you have to offer. Fun one to play with. Again, don't complicate this stuff. Just do it and do it again and do it again and experiment. And if you're worried about doing it to your audience, I don't want to do something goofy to my audience, to my friends, whatever, exclude them in your audience selection and just do it to the strangers that you're marketing to. So single video, I can use an existing video. Remember, once you've uploaded a video once, you want to use it over and over. You don't want to re-upload it. Why? Because the video count will go up each time you use it. Even though I might use a video post multiple times, I or a video multiple times and multiple ads and multiple posts, I still want the counter to go up and up and up. So each ad might get 1,000 views, but now because I run it 10 times, I've got 10,000 views. It shows the 10,000 views on the video, gives it a little social validation so that my video looks more popular and more people are likely to click on it. I like to click on 10,000 view videos. I don't like to click on 129 view videos. Sometimes people will literally go in and run a video with video views as an objective, get the first couple thousand views on it, and then go use that same video in a lead gen ad. Now that it has the social validation, it's going to perform much better because it's got that counter moved up. Either way, I don't do that. I don't really find that it makes that big of a difference. It might, but it's pennies and I'm busy. It's time that I'm more worried about. So I just go ahead and run it from scratch and then make sure I use it over and over. So this is where I can browse my library or upload a video or use a template to create a video. So I'm going to go ahead and browse library and pick any video. And let's say I want to use this video right here and continue. And any of your videos that you've uploaded will be available. You can customize it by changing the captions on it. You can customize it by changing the thumbnail. That's an important one, by the way. The thumbnail is the image that shows up before the video plays. You want to make sure that your thumbnail never has more than 20% text on it, so that it doesn't get penalized on its viewership. If you have more than 20% text on a page, Facebook will penalize it. So if you need to change anything in your video, this is where you can customize it. Gonna come down here, gonna write my text, you know, blah, blah, blah. Check out this cool new video. I'm so sad my keyboard's not working, but it appears to be dead. So let me move up here and use this, blah, blah, blah. There we go, there's my text. Do I want to have a link on there? No, I'm not going to link to anything. Yes, I want to have a headline. Since I'm not going to have a link, I don't need to have a link description, so I'll skip that. My call to action, what do I want? Learn more, which is probably the one you'll use most. Get offer, get quote, whatever applies. Download I use a lot. Apply now sometimes works well, but learn more is the most common by far. People want to learn more about a listing. They want to learn more about a loan program. They want to learn more about whatever. And see, it's building my ad over here with my headline, with my text, and my button. Gonna come down here. You're not going to use any of these advanced options, at least not at this point. I will leave. If you've got a pixel set up, leave that turned on. You might as well pixel people. No harm, no foul in pixeling them. And then that's it. I'm done. I've built my ad. Now I'm going to build my form. And that's the reason we like to do lead gen ads on Facebook, so that the lead gen ad has its own landing page. We don't want to have to build a landing page because we don't want to have to build it. One, because we don't want to send people away from Facebook. Two, Facebook doesn't like them to leave Facebook. People don't like to leave Facebook. I want to do all this stuff within Facebook. Once you've built a form, you can use that form over and over, or you can pick a form and you can duplicate it and then edit it, or you can just create a new form. And for the sake of this training, we're just going to create a new form. And we're going to say more volume. You always want more volume. Rarely will you find a reason, I haven't found one yet, where I actually perform better using higher intent, where it makes them jump through a couple extra hoops to confirm their information and confirm, are you really sure you want to submit this? No, we want more volume. And now I'm just going to build my form. I'm going to start with my intro. What do I want for my intro? If I said, get more information on this listing, I'm going to say, yes, give me more information on this incredible listing. But because I type 11 words a minute, I'm going to say, whatever, random text. Do I want to use the same image from the ad or upload a new image? If it's a listing, yeah, I might try a new listing image. But I got to tell you, there's kind of a little rule of thumb when it comes to lead gen that says even though you can make an awesome landing page and it can have new information and lots of new text and new pictures, that if people clicked on it based on whatever you had in your post or your ad, that they've already decided to move ahead. Don't confuse them with more information. Don't slow them down. Don't make them read something else. All they could do now is decide not to give you their information or decide they don't want it. It's like, oh, that picture is ugly of the house. I don't want information on it. Or you start reading this and thinking of, no. Just keep it simple, keep it stupid. If you can put some extra information in here that will make them more likely to click and you're confident, then try it. Also, don't be afraid to run it, go back in, duplicate the ad, and then edit the form, duplicate the form, edit it, and try another one that is simpler that pretty much says the exact same thing as the ad. So I typically use the image for my ad. If it's for an event, I might put a map up here and say, here's a map of how to get to the event, or a picture of an ebook cover or something if I'm letting them download an ebook, some other image that supports it. But I usually test, and I almost always find that I do better if I just use pretty much the same text and the same picture that I had in the ad. It made them curious enough to click. Hopefully they'll stay curious enough to click again. But don't be afraid to try something that you believe. Again, the secret to marketing is empathy. Put yourself in their shoes. If I was clicking, would I click ahead? Would I move ahead? Would I do this? So use the image from your ad. Write the paragraph of text, and I'm going to write something that's very, very, very similar to whatever was in my post. And now I've got my landing page that's going to have a picture, and it's going to have the headline, and it's going to have the text that I put in. And then I get to move to the questions. What questions do I want to ask them? And when I click on questions, it's going to let me choose from any of the options that are built into Facebook, as well as creating my own questions. Answer below or whatever. So I'm going to put my little headline in there. And what do I want to know? And this one is a touchy one. And again, it's fun when you start doing this because you get to experiment with it. In that I like to know somebody's first name and last name, and I like to know their email, and I like to know their phone number. But if you're not going to call, don't ask the phone number because you're going to get fewer people responding. Everything you ask reduces your response rate. Now, I don't mind reducing my response rate a little bit if I'm getting a better lead. If I want to text them, if I really will call them, I'm better off asking for that phone number. But if I'm not going to text them or call them, I'm not going to ask for it. If my leads are so cheap, I don't care. I just want better leads because I'm trying to build my list and my database. Remember, everybody that comes into your list, you can add them to your custom audience. You can add them to your Facebook. You can add them to your CRM. You can drip on them into perpetuity. Remember, grow and nurture, the only two marketing functions. Well, this is grow. So yeah, I would like to get their email. But I find that I do better if I ask for just first name instead of first name and last name. So I'll uncheck full name and say, just give me the first name. And you know what? I do like phone numbers. So I can ask for any of these things. If I want to populate their street address, city, whatever, I can do that. This other stuff, date of birth, whatever, anything you want, you can ask for. But everything you ask for is going to reduce the amount of responses you get. So play with this and experiment and see what works best for you. If you're looking for the best possible responses and all you're going to do is drip on them with more messages from that point, because I'm getting their information, I'm adding them to my list. If I get their email, this is their Facebook email. It will match on a custom audience upload. So I will be able to start messaging them. They're in my audience now, start messaging them into perpetuity. I'll often just do these too. But I'm a big phone number guy. I love texts. I love phone calls. Maybe because I answer texts and I don't check my email very often, and I'm projecting that onto my leads. But that's just me. So pick whatever you want, and then you can add custom questions. I don't use short answers. You can tell me why. Tell me what you're looking for. Describe the blah, 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 blah. How long have you been? On a scale of 1 to 10, what do you think or how would you rate your credit score? Or last time you saw your credit score, what was it? You could ask them any question you want. The problem with asking a question is I have to type the answer. And I like to only give people questions they can answer from their phone at a stoplight. In other words, I don't want them to have to type anything. I can't type anything at a stoplight. I can hit a button. I can check a box. So me personally, I don't use short answer. I use multiple choice. And I'm going to then ask them a question. How's your credit? And then I'm going to give my answer. Pretty good. And I'm going to say 580 to 640, because some people might think their 680 is a bad credit score. And I know that I can get them into an FHA with a 580 because my LO is good or whatever. And I'm not saying that these are what your answer should be, but I can make that an answer. And then I can say, pretty darn good. Good. Yes, 11 words a minute. It's true. And I'm going to say 640 to 680. And then I might say better than good. And that one's going to be 680 to 720. And I'm going to say great. And it's going to be 720 plus. And see, each one of these becomes a possible answer, and they can check a box. When I want to know somebody's loan amount, I don't say what price range are you looking for a home, or what loan amount are you seeking to borrow. I say, what loan amount are you seeking to borrow? And then I make it multiple choice, 100 to 250, 250 to 500, or I maybe go 100 to 354, 700, or whatever the FHA limit is for your neighborhood, or the whatever. And then I might go FHA limit to conventional limit for your territory, and then conventional to jumbo, and then jumbo to super jumbo. I'll routinely do 100 to 250, 250 to 500, 500 to 1,250,000, and then 1,250,000 plus. And that's my 4 ranges. I just want to get a range. What amount were you looking to put down? Now, what amount do you have for a down payment? Because I just asked a financial question. I can't do that. What amount would you like to put down? 3% to 5%, 5% to 20%. 20% to 30%, 30 to 50, or all cash, whatever. Make up your questions as multiple choice. The reason I typically put in multiple choice questions, because you're going, well, wait, Bill, you said if I ask for their full name, I'm going to lose some people. I'll get fewer leads by asking for your last name or your full name than asking for just your first name. You will get fewer leads. Some people don't want to give up their last name. They don't want to give up their phone number. If I have to now tell you what I think my credit score is, you're going to get way fewer leads. I do that because sometimes I want way fewer leads. When I say, do you want to buy a fix and flip property, name and phone number, I get way more leads, $5-6 a piece. When I make you tell me the loan amount and verify that you understand that you need at least 20% down and that you're in one of the following 13 states where I'm approved to do business or something like that, I'm going to get way fewer leads, or I'm going to pay more per lead. I'm going to pay $20, $25 a lead, but I'm going to get way better leads. I'm not going to get all these people that are wanting to do no money down investment properties in Alaska where I don't do business, or they want to buy a mobile home for $32,000 and I don't have a program for that. I don't mind filtering those people out. It's worth it. So don't be afraid to play with these and to make multiple versions. So you make a form, and then when you're done with your form, you duplicate it, make another one, and duplicate it, and make another one. And then when you're going through and running your ad, you can run it, and you can run it again with a different form, and run it again with a different form, and duplicate it, and test this stuff. Let it run for a while, and then try something else. What you'll realize is that there's a sweet spot in there somewhere where the leads are better, which makes them more expensive, but they're not so much more expensive that it's not worth it. It's cheaper than having a caller have to call all these people and filter all these bad leads or whatever. I want people that are ready to move ahead. So I play with this and find that sweet spot for me. If you're great at follow-up, sweet spot will probably be way down at the bottom, cheapest possible lead. You're going to find that you can get leads off listings for as little as $2 or $3. Probably going to be happier if you're spending 5 or 10. I'm happiest if I spend 10, 20, 30, because I don't like lead follow-up. I want to get really, really committed people that are ready to talk to me and are serious about moving ahead. I like to get people that are ready to meet and go through my marketing plan for their home. That's probably one of my favorite lead gen ads ever. But you've got to play with it. So that's it. You're making a form. All your form's going to be a headline, some text, a photo, a headline for your form, and answer below is not a good headline for your form, but tell us a little more about yourself. Tell me about the property you're looking for. Is the information below correct? Would be fine, which you'll find that some answers like that, questions like that, is the information below correct? Make people feel like you already have the information. That way they don't mind giving it up. Oh, they already know my name and phone number and email. And yeah, it's correct. Because it is correct. They're just answering the question by hitting submit at the bottom. There we go. That's it. I've added custom questions. A privacy policy. You must have a privacy policy. You can go out and Google privacy policy generator and you'll find 100 of them. You answer some questions and it'll generate a privacy policy for you. You can then edit that document or whatever, but there's plenty of places that you can host your privacy policy, usually on your website. Anytime you do lead gen, you have to have a privacy policy to ensure that you're not going to take people's information and sell it or give it to others. And then a thank you screen. When they hit submit, what do I want to pop up? If I'm using lead magnets, where I just said, you can still get a pool. You can still get a home with a pool in Las Vegas for under $300,000. In fact, there's 11 of them on the market today that likely won't last. Click here to see all 11 now. And then they click and they land on your form. And then it says, my name is, my phone number is, whatever. And then it says, show me the properties, which might be what I'd put, or the following information is correct. When they say submit, I'm going to put a link to the search on my IDX website. So I've gone to my website, my IDX MLS website. I've done a search for pool homes below 300,000. Oh, look, there's 11 of them. That's how I knew to put that in my ad. I'm going to copy that link out of the address bar when I do the search. And by the way, guys, I can do this with Zillow. I can literally go do a search on Zillow, copy the link, and yeah, it sucks to send them to Zillow where they might see other people's ads, but there's some great irony to using Zillow to create my own leads, so I don't mind doing it. Wherever I have those listings, I'm going to do a search, find the page with all the search results on it. People love to see the wholesale properties. They love to see the HUD foreclosures, the FHA foreclosures, the Chase foreclosures. See all 5 of the main 5 foreclosure lists in Phoenix today. HUD, FHA, Fannie Mae, Chase, B of A, Wells, whatever it is. And then I just get those 5 links. And when I go to the thank you screen, I'm going to say, thanks, you're all set. Click here to, sorry, I didn't mean to expand that. I'm going to put another image in here. And I'm going to say, instead of thanks, you're all set, I'm going to say, thanks, you're ready to get started. Here's a list of all those links. And I'm going to put all the links right here in the page. Or if I can put them on my website, I will send them, because once they've got this, where do I want them to go? And I can either have them download, call, or view website. Thinks that that's all I can do, but this is usually an afterthought for me. I usually give them the information right here that I want to give them. And this is where I'll put a link to my Dropbox that has the ebook, or that has the list of foreclosures, or that has my guide to selling your home fast in today's market, or the 10 hot listing picks for the week. Alexandra's flip picks for the weeks. By the way, flip picks for the week is a great lead magnet. People love flip picks. Show me the best, your flip picks. I'm just saying, here's some houses I think might be flippable. People love to subscribe to get your flip picks and see it on a regular basis, and they will gladly give up their information to see your flip picks. But figure out what they want. And if you don't know what they want, pay attention to Facebook. You'll see what other people are advertising. Go to AdEspresso's university and look at their lead ad gallery, where they've got, I think, 1.5 million lead ads, and you can search by advertiser, by type, first time buyer, or whatever. You can see all kinds of great ads. Just look at what other people do. You can go to Quicken's Facebook page and you can see, or another realtor or a real estate company, and you can click and see all their ads over on the left-hand column at the bottom. You can say, see all of their current active ads. You can see what kind of things they're advertising, but all an ad is an offer to give somebody something, information, a thing, whatever, a lead magnet, and they're giving you information. Ideally, you want them to want to meet with you. So they might be giving you information and answering questions about when the best time to meet. I prefer to meet on screen share. I prefer to meet blah, blah, blah. Call me, text me. What's the best way to get a hold of you? Those are the kind of questions I'd use. But you can make up anything you want, and then you just put it up. And guys, it's so cheap, and damn near everything seems to work, that you just got to get started, and then you just start changing it. And it's so much fun. It's so much more fun than putting your money on a craps table or roulette table. And it's kind of the same thing. It's playing a game, only once you find, once 37 hits, once, black hits, once 8 the hard way hits, it'll keep hitting. That's the difference. Once you find something that hits, it will keep hitting for a good long time in most cases. Sometimes it'll fade off. Sometimes it'll get better. Sometimes you'll find ways to make it better. But it keeps, you're just looking for something that hits because it'll keep hitting. So thank you screen is where I say thank you. I make a final positive impression. I set an expectation. I give them something. Here's links. Here's downloads. Here's stuff. And I put it right here on the download page. So if I wanted to download, I'd say download, download. And then it's going to say, what do I want on the button? I'm going to say, get your list of foreclosures now, or give me my list of foreclosures, or whatever. Get my list. If you do it the first person for them, it seems to pull better. And I'm going to put a link. And the link for me is usually just a Dropbox link. I put it in my Dropbox or my Google Drive. Then I just put a link, a public link to it, and I let them download it straight from my Dropbox or Google Drive. If it's up on your website, great. If it's a link to somebody else's website, that's fine too. It doesn't matter. I routinely will send people to articles that are hosted somewhere else on Wall Street Journal, USA Today, and I'll send them there. Boy. Doctors, Monday morning, they all want to know how to go over the weekend. So there we go. That's it. We should have everything pretty much covered. Let me go look at Q&A. And I apologize if this was kind of a quick one today, but it's an important one, and you should all be running these all the time. You're basically saying, I'll give you this if you give me that. I'll give you a list. I'll give you more information about this listing. Every one of your listing ads should be a lead gen ad. Get more information on this listing. I'd like to know more about this listing and other listings in this price range that are in this area, in this price range, whatever. Give them multiple choices that they can select from. Let them check those boxes. But that's it. All you do is answer these questions. You don't have to make up ads. You don't have to be a marketing genius. You just come into each one of these and go, what's privacy policy? I don't really know. And then you go Google it and you find out, oh, okay, I'm going to link to this privacy policy. And what's my disclaimer? I don't need a custom disclaimer. What's my thank you screen? Oh, that pops up at the end. All you really need to do is just go in, build your form, build your ad, and you're going to start collecting information. That's it. At a future date, we'll show you how you can zap those leads into your text or your phone or whatever, so you don't have to come into Facebook to get them. But for now, this will get you doing lead gen. Take $20, take $50, put up a listing, offer people more information on listings like this in the area, or a list information on this and other hot listings in this neighborhood, and run it and see what you get. Run it and see what you get. If you're doing your hot picks, your favorite listings for each neighborhood, maybe I can download a list of those. By the way, back on the Resource Center, there is a lead magnet document up there that has a suggestion list of probably 50 different lead magnets that you can use for your lead gen ads. Pick any of them if you don't know what to use for a lead magnet. It's got listing ideas, it's got other ideas, downloads, websites, you name it, resources, all sorts of things you can offer to get listing leads or buyer leads. And no, still no questions. Maybe I made no sense today. And nobody stuck around. Nope, no chats, no questions, nothing going on. Alexander, send me screenshots when you have questions, guys. That's probably the easiest. If you can do a quick screen capture, quick little video, here's what I got, here's what I get, what do I do? I can respond in or just send me a screenshot and write it up and I'll respond, but send me an email, bill@billhillestad.com, and I will gladly answer any questions I can with quick little videos. And that's it for the day. Guys, I'm going to go call all these doctors back and physical therapists and go see if I can do my George Burns walking imitation. And I will see you guys next Monday. No more questions. Going once, going twice, and we're gone. See you next week.